Hello, friends. Today I want to talk to you about how can we make our small business extremely profitable, especially if you're a new business owner or you're thinking about getting into the market, or maybe you have an existing business, but you're not able to compete. And how do you know if you're not able to compete? Very simple. Look at your financials. If you are not generating a meaningful wealth after paying all the expenses, then there's something broken. And today I'm going to give you a framework that is going to help you solve that problem. So if you're a startup, you're thinking about starting a business, or you're an established business that is just simply not able to generate a meaningful wealth, then I strongly encourage you to watch this video till the end. Now, those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Deepak and I'm a tax code advisor. So you can reach out to me via taxcodeadvisors.com. And one of the things that you're going to learn about me is I add a lot of value to my clients, not just by filing their tax returns, but helping them learn about finance, helping them learn about business, helping them learn about marketing, helping them grow their business. I mean, after all, paying taxes is a good thing because if you're making a lot of money, if you're growing your business, then we want to pay taxes in this country. So yes, a large part of my job is about helping you reduce your taxes. But at the same time, I think as a tax professional, it is my job to help my clients grow their business. So today I'm going to give you a great framework that is going to help you solve all the problems that I just mentioned. So let's start out with simple. I want you to sit for a second and think about this question. Why does Amazon win at almost everything they touch? Can we build a business like Amazon where we always win? Well, if you think about it, they started out at the bookstore, then they moved into electronics, clothing, groceries, computers, entertainment. They dominate every single category they win. Most people think that they win maybe because they have a lot of money, a lot of investors, or because they have a lot of talent. They're able to move things really, really fast. Or perhaps it's because they have a genius CEO, Jeff Bezos, right? Everybody know that. Well, I would not argue against any of those things. They certainly have all of those, but I think the real answer is something very simple and more useful to people like you and me as a business owner, because we can copy that formula, we can copy that strategy and apply it in our own business. Amazon wins because they always ask a different question than their competitors. While everyone else asks, how do we sell more products? Amazon asks, what infrastructure would make every competitor dependent on us? Today, I'm going to give you a framework behind that thinking. It's very simple. It works in any industry. And by the end of this video, you will have a couple of exercises you can use to brainstorm or use in your own business. So stick with me. And then once again, if you want to talk more about that, if you are a part of a coaching program or you book a comprehensive call, then all of this is free. I work with you guys on these exercises to help you figure out how you can improve your business. So I want to start out with a very simple example that I think most of you probably already know: computers. We all use it. We use it in our phone. We use it on, the computer that you use on your desktop. And I think for most people probably understand. Now, computer have a lot of little components, a lot of different chips, and I'm not going to name all of them and know that you need to know. But I think at the basic level, you probably understand that this box that you have sitting in your house or in your office has three main components. Number one is the microchip or microprocessor. The job of microprocessor is to, do computation, to do all the math work, to do all the logics. Number two, you got some memory. Once all of those logics are done, manipulation of data is done, you need to store that data somewhere. That is done in some sort of storage. And number three, you need to move that data. Like, for example, maybe you need to send that data via email. Maybe you need to print it. Maybe you need to store it somewhere. To do all of that stuff, you need a system to move that data. So first, we got to manipulate the data, got to change. Number two, we got to store that data. And number three, we got to move it. These three are the layers that you need to know. Make it, hold it, and move it. Now, you might say, what do you mean by that? Well, what I'm saying is, if we replicate the system that is being used in almost every single computer out there into our business, then our business can become more profitable. Our business can become better. Our business can generate a meaningful wealth for us. So let me explain to you. Let's say layer number one, make it layer, microprocessor. Well, in your business, someone has to create, produce, or transform the product or service. This is your manufacturing or production layer. For example, in my business, that would be me or my staff. Then you to hold it somewhere, you have to store whatever it is that you produce. You have to house it before it reaches the customer. That is your real estate or capacity layer. And lastly, you need to move that data. You can't just store it. Like, for example, if I do your tax return and I just store it, it would not really earn me any revenue. I ultimately have to file it. I have to deliver that tax return. So this last layer, move it, is something has to get it from where it is made to where it is needed. So from my computer to IRS system, that is how I deliver. This is your logistics or a distribution layer. So I want you to think about that in your own business. Make it, hold it, move it. That's the entire framework. And once you start seeing your business through these three layers, you will never look at the market same way again. Because here is what the framework really reveals. In almost every industry, one or two of these layers are not working properly. They're inefficient or they're controlled by someone who isn't even the main player. And that is the gap. That is where the biggest opportunity lies. Let me make this easy by giving you some examples. I'll go from big to small so you can see how this applies at every single level, and then you can use this information to apply it in your business as well. When Amazon started, the retail industry had a problem. With the movement layer, you either had to go to a physical store or there were some phone numbers that you will call, like 800 numbers, and say, hey, I have this catalog number of a product I would like to buy. And once you place the order, then it took you maybe a couple of weeks to get that order delivered. And that delivery was also not cheap. So, you know, ordering or buying the products took way too long. Getting them delivered was painful, and it was certainly expensive. Amazon didn't just build a better store, they actually worked on solving problems in these three layers. So let me explain. Make it. What did Amazon do? They say, well, we cannot have billions of products in our catalog, so why don't we allow all the sellers to sell the products on our catalog? All of a sudden, Amazon had huge inventory without actually having to buy anything. So they solved the problem number one. Problem number two is they wanted to deliver the products. So what did they do? They built large strategic distribution centers very close to all the major population centers. So products were already near the customer before they even ordered them. So what did that do? Well, that solved the logistics problem. They were able to deliver products sometimes within 2 days. That became very popular. And these days, in 2 hours. So they solve all three of those major problems. Key thing to notice is that Amazon now owns all three layers. That is why it is so hard to compete with them. You can build a better product, but you can't easily build a better fulfillment network, a better warehouse, and a better delivery operation at the same time. Owning one layer of infrastructure is a business. Owning all three layers is a monopoly. So I want you to think about your business and answer this question right now. Do you only manufacture or produce? Or do you also store it? And lastly, do you also deliver it? And if you do a really great job at all three of those levels, then you are going to build a business that is going to be extremely profitable. Let me give you another example, restaurants. And I'll walk you through these three layers so you can better understand it. So make it layer. What do you have in your restaurant? You got kitchen, you got chef, you got various recipes for your restaurant. So the problem here is kitchen runs at maybe 30% capacity during off-peak hours. Now you have to hold it, right? You got dining rooms, you got tables, you got some physical space. It has a fixed capacity. So even if you get a lot of customers, you can't serve more than X number of people at a time. And then you got this move it layer. That means customers come to you, or they pay through DoorDash or some other platform you might be using right now. So that means this, if you're using DoorDash, for example, then what happens? Every time somebody uses a DoorDash, you have to pay DoorDash commission or Uber Eats or whatever platform you might be using. They're probably taking 20, 30% of your revenue. So if you think about it in the distribution layer, you're losing 30% of your revenue. In hold it layer, you might be losing some business. And then in the make it layer, you might have some capacity problems in your kitchen as well. So now you can see the problem, right? The restaurant has typically have a strong make it layer. Their food is great, but their hold it layer is limited by their physical space. They can't just, go from a 2,000 square foot restaurant to a 5,000 square foot. So they can't scale it. And their moving layer, they don't own it at all. DoorDash and Uber Eats own it, and they charge a huge fees for that privilege. Now, think about what a smart restaurant owner could do with this framework. They could add a second kitchen in a different part of the city, solving the hold it problems. They could build a direct ordering app with their own delivery drivers, reclaiming the move it layer. They could start a meal prep subscription, a completely different way to use the same make it layer they already have. The food hasn't changed. The framework just showed them where the leverage is. So there are a lot of ways to look at this in each business. So don't go by exactly what I'm giving an example. There could be many other opportunities. We just have to think in those terms. I'll give you another example. Let's say consulting business. So, and this kind of applies to me as well because large part of my job is also consulting. So this one might actually surprise you because we don't usually think of a service business through a physical lens, but run it through the three layers that I gave you. Make it the consultant expertise, time, and thinking, the actual advice and solutions. Perfect example for me. Hold it. Where does that live? Documents, frameworks, templates, maybe some recorded content. And move it layer, how clients find you and your knowledge reaches them, maybe through referrals, maybe through content, maybe courses, platforms, in my case, coaching program and my tax practice. Most consultants are completely stuck in make it layer. They trade time for money. Their earnings are capped by the number of hours in a day. But consultants who scale, who build $5 million, $10 million practices, almost always do it by building out the hold it and move it layer. They package their expertise into frameworks, into courses, into software. They build platforms that bring clients to them instead of chasing every new client one by one. They stop selling hours, they start owning infrastructure. So the big idea is infrastructure beats products every single time. So here's the principle that's going to tie everything together. And it's most important thing I'm going to say today. In almost every industry, the business that controls the infrastructure eventually earns more than the business that makes the best product. Think about music. The musicians make the product, but Spotify owns the distribution layer, the move it layer. Who makes more money? Think about real estate. The builders built the properties, but platforms like Zillow and Airbnb owns the visibility layer, the way properties get in front of buyers and renters who captures the margin. Think about your own industry. Who makes the product? Who holds the capacity and who controls the moment? Who decide what gets in front of customers? And are those the same people or are you doing all the work while someone else owns the layer that actually captures the value? This is the question the framework forces you to ask. And for most business owners, it is deeply uncomfortable because the honest answer is often, I own the make it layer and I'm dependent on someone else for everything else. That dependency is that risk, but it also the opportunity because if you can see it, you can start doing something about it. So let me give you a couple of exercises just to be practical. I want you to do this week. Both take maybe 15, 20 minutes, so it's not going to take too much time out of your business. Both will show you something about your business you probably haven't seen before. So grab a piece of paper, draw 3 columns in it, label them, make it, hold it, move it. Now fill them in your business. Be honest, be specific. Here is what to look for when you are done. So you got 3 columns, right? 1, 2, 3, make it, hold it, move it. Under each column, write exactly what exists in your business today for that layer. Be specific, not we have good products or we have a production team of 3 people making X widgets per day. Now mark each layer with one of the 3 ratings. Strong, we own this and it works. Weak, this exists, but it is not working well. Or missing, someone else owns this layer or it doesn't exist at all. Circle the weakest or most missing layer. This is your biggest vulnerability and your biggest opportunity. Write one sentence. If we strengthen the X layer this year, here is what would change about our business. Finish that sentence honestly. Most business owners who do this exercise find the same thing. Their make it layer is strong, they are good at what they do, but their hold it layer is constrained by something, either by space, capacity, or systems. And their move it layer is either weak or owned by a platform they are paying a lot of money to. That is the pattern. And knowing the pattern is the first step to changing it. The second exercise I'm going to share with you is a little bit shorter, but it might be more valuable one. I call it the dependency question. And it forces you to look at your business from the outside in. So here's how it works. Write down every platform, service, or company that your business is dependent on to function. This includes delivery platforms, marketplaces, social media algorithms, landlords, suppliers, software tools, anything where if they change their terms or shut down, you would have a serious problem. By the way, your tax return can help you with that as well because you've been recording all the expenses, right? So you can take a look at those expenses and that can help you with this question as well. For each one, identify which layer they own for you. Are they your hold it layer, your move it layer, or your make it layer? Rate each dependency. For example, low risk, easy to replace; medium risk, painful but survivable; high risk, they go away, and so does a significant part of our revenue. Pick your single highest risk dependency. Ask what would it take to either own this layer ourselves or find 2 alternative providers so we are never locked into one. Write down one concrete action you could take in the next 30 days to reduce that dependency. This exercise tends to produce a lot of uncomfortable realizations. Business owners who have built everything on Instagram algorithm, restaurants who are completely dependent on DoorDash, software companies who rely entirely on Apple App Store, e-commerce brands whose entire move it layer is Amazon. None of these are necessarily bad decisions in the short term. Using platforms that already have the infrastructure is smart when you're starting out. But at some point, the question shifts from how do I use this platform to how do I own enough of my own infrastructure that this platform can't hold me hostage? That is the question every scaling business has to answer. If your business is not making money, if you have a lot of revenue and you're not generating enough profit at the end of the day, I guarantee you there's a problem in one of those 3 layers. And if you use this framework and start breaking that down, you are going to identify problems. Now, once again, you don't have to do this on your own. I'm available to help. So just reach out to me via taxcodeadvisors.com and show me your last year books, show me your tax returns. Let's break it down together and let's try to better understand it. Now, let me bring this together. Today's framework is simple. Every physical business has 3 layers. Make it, hold it, move it. Map yours right now and see where you're strong and where you're exposed. The most dangerous place to be is owning only one layer. That's where most businesses happen to be, and it's the layer with the lowest leverage. Owning infrastructure compounds over time. Every layer you own makes the other layers more powerful, more defensible, more profitable. So do the two exercise this week. Even just doing one of them, honestly mapping your three layers, will show you something new about where your business is vulnerable and where the opportunity is. If this framework is useful to you, I strongly urge you to share it with other business owners who might benefit from hearing it. That's the best way to support me and this video. And again, I'm always available to you. So if you want to get hold of me, just go to taxcodeadvisors.com, set up a free discovery call, or if you're part of coaching program or you are booking the comprehensive consultation, then this is all included anyways to you. So once again, thank you so much for spending your last 15, 20 minutes with me, and I'll see you next time.